Hello, everyone, and welcome.
Hello.
Today I'm joined by a special, very special guest. We have Yasodhara, and we're going to be talking a little bit about finding your voice as an X-Men.
Yes. Hi,
Yeah.
Sil.
Hi. So, one of the things that I thought is quite funny with this class is, and I mean, this is not for all X-Men, but a lot of X-Men tend to be the ones that are a little bit, shyer, a little bit not so willing to kind of step out and be the biggest voice in the room. Um, but then you also have the motor mouth X-Men's that just won't shut up. So,
That's not me.
yeah, that's me sometimes, but I'm also sometimes very quiet and yeah, so I'd say it's a very different reality having your voice as an X-Men than it is for most people. Um,
Yeah.
and I know that you've been doing the Right Voice for You classes for quite a while now, and yeah, like, can you talk to some of what you've gotten personally from these classes?
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I got personally from it that you like if you don't ask questions, you'll address all kind of things and you'll kind of get lost sometimes in all the universes around you. And so, like for me, what like I've really been looking at how can I be more concise when I talk, when you make videos, when you because you're aware of so many things, and then you'll go like, which for some people might be like this invitation, and for some people they will be just what, like what's going on?
I don't know anything about that. I never do that.
And so it's more to start looking also like, okay, so if that isn't the wrongness and it's a capacity, how can I still have tools where I also make it a little more ease for people to actually listen and receive me in some situations?
Yeah, that's actually a freaking amazing question because, like, so much of what goes on with X-Men is where they are like misconstrued in communication and misunderstood, and a lot of X-Men are projected at that they're stupid because they don't communicate in the same way, and so like that question of like how can you communicate in order to be received in a different way is just such a gift and can contribute so much.
Yeah, and it's so because I've worked also a lot with like people because I've been a vocal coach for many years, and I think one of the most like sessions I did with a person in Access when we were in Costa Rica, and that person was adult by the time we worked, but had not been speaking like for 7 years at the beginning of their life, and had seen every doctor under the sun. And so that was the thing that really kept me going with these tools. I was like, wow, we can change so much. And
Wow.
so often I've seen, like, also working with parents with children that didn't speak, it's like so often like a not having the information for the kid, like, hey, if you want like people to treat you like just like with more ease, you might want to start speaking. Or are you aware that people don't get you when you don't open your mouth and really use your voice?
Yeah.
And
Sometimes my son Silas just makes noises at me and I'm like, dude, you have
I
to
don't
give
get
me
it.
the words. The noises are great and I get some of it, but I need more. Give me more.
Yeah, and it can be so that can be so fun and easy when you start to actually look at, okay, so if nothing is wrong, what's going on and what information does this being requires to actually have a different choice, and they can still shut up. But like very often what I've seen is that as an X-Men, you think your world is completely normal and that everybody perceives the world as you do, but it's not.
Yeah. And the other thing that I think is like available that a lot of X-Men are really looking for is this place of where they have this awareness of these universes that they often find very hard to like describe or have the words for. But it's like one of the things that I've noticed is as you become more like energetically congruent with the words coming out of your mouth, your ability to actually give people the information in a way that they can have it and start to get some of what you're aware of is like it's really exciting.
Yeah, and also like in the foundation, Gary talks about like every word you use creates. So what would it take? if you had more clarity in your ability to be congruent with the energy, but also then to like really get practical on that and to like increase that capacity, like not just in your head.
Exactly. Yeah. One of the things that he said a long time ago was like everything that you say and everything that you think creates like realities, and it's like what realities is that actually creating? And from that, I started to pay a lot more attention to what I was saying and what I was thinking, and realizing all of these places where it was like creating things that I wasn't even aware of. And once you get aware of it, you can choose something else and create something else.
Yeah, and you can also like one of the like I just remember like when I used to work a lot in restaurants, and I remember that if my boss would make the schedule and she would write the dates on the left and the names on top, I wouldn't get it, and I would literally not know when to get there, and that was very frustrating. And like you know, if you just get frustrated, it's not it for me. It's not having your voice. It's just frustration, and you sometimes you can't even explain. But I know now, like, oh, if we just do it the other way around, I totally get it. And that's just my brain being different. But how would it be to not have to be frustrated and just realize, like, oh, my brain just functions differently. So what do I require? So what do you require? And what, so you can explain that to people also and just, they can have more ease with dealing with you as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of X-Men as well would have had this place where they are used to talking to people in their heads and people picking that up and receiving that information. And so you probably find that most of the people that you spend most of your time with have some sort of level of that ability. And yeah, this is also something that could contribute to you, broadening like the influence that you can have in the world, but also, the friendships that you can have, the relationships, and the possibilities in business and like all aspects of your life.
Yeah, and like a lot of people often think right voice is about like really talking and singing and that kind of things. And I promise it's so much more. That could be part of it, but it's more about having your worlds, like really having your voice energetically also. And your, like we call that often in this reality, having your place. But what if
Yeah.
you'd have like all the space to create yourself from? And so you have total choice at any second in your life.
Yes. And I can tell from that little evil laugh that you just did that there is a whole lot more available than just playing
Maybe
with
I'll make
the
Sil sing. Do
voice.
you sing, Sil?
Well, we'll see. You have to come and find out.
I love it. Oh my god, this is like there is so much more promo material actually, like getting downloaded right now. Well, I'm looking forward. So thank you so much for this creation.
Yeah, thanks for coming on and having a chat. And yeah, if you guys are interested, we're doing the class called Having Your Voice as an X-Men, or Finding Your Voice as an X-Men. And you can check it out on the website. It's
It's a
allwynjones.com, and
yeah,
yes,
23rd of September, right?
yes, and we'll drop a link in the comments. And thanks,
Yes.
everyone. Good to see you again for the weekly live in Exponentialize. And thanks, Yasadora, for coming on. And we'll see
Thank
you all
you.
soon. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everybody. Thank you.